I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA and Individual Disability Attorney. Welcome to Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started, I have to give you that legal disclaimer that the Florida Bar tells me I have to tell you. This podcast is not legal advice, but nothing will ever prevent me from giving you an easy to understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games that disability carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. I'm really excited about today's podcast. I want to welcome Sue Payne, who is a dedicated advocate, community leader, and proud member of the board of directors of Dysphonia International. She lives with spasmodic dysphonia and cervical dystonia, that causes problems with her voice, but also with the positioning of her head and neck. Unfortunately, this disorder changed the course of her life in 2017, but she's turned this challenge into a purpose. She's organized walk for talk events, mentored others who have voice disorders, and has helped raise awareness and funds for education and research. She's got a background in public health, education, and corporate leadership. She's the perfect person for this. She has deep insight into what it means to lose your voice, literally and figuratively, and how to keep going. Her experience navigating the disability process, dealing with a community of individuals such as herself in a support group setting, and finding purpose through advocacy, I think, is very powerful and very inspiring to all of us. And we're going to talk with Sue about three things today. First, we want to share Sue's story and her advocacy work. Second, we want to talk more personally about living with spasmodic dysphonia and cervical dystonia. And I want to talk with her about long-term disability and life beyond work. But before we get started, let's take a quick break. And I'm excited to come back and speak with her in greater detail.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind by your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claims process. Request your free copy of the book at caveylaw.com today.
Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Let's start by talking about Sue's story and her advocacy work. Sue, you've had a varied career from public health to working in insurance. What led you specifically to get involved with Dysphonia International?
To begin with, it was almost by accident. So I wasn't really aware of Dysphonia International at first, but I was very outgoing, if you will, on some Facebook support groups that I found. And I was very open with my voice disorder. And I stumbled across Dysphonia International and went to the website and found some resources and some valuable tools that helped me kind of figure this out, because Dysphonia International is very compelling to help us understand what SD is and how we can help each other. So once I kind of got involved with it, it just took off from there.
So what are some of the tools on the site that you would recommend to others? And how did those tools help you?
Oh, there's so many things. As a matter of fact, we have a group of people looking at it to give those initial kind of the top hits, if you will, to newly diagnosed individuals with spasmodic dysphonia. There's also a link on there for laryngologists and otolaryngologists who help properly diagnose us. Because frankly, a lot of physicians and other practices have never heard of spasmodic dysphonia. So having those links, and I think one of the other cool things is there are both educational resources that we can have available. And then there's links to who we can contact. For example, if somebody is new here in Florida, they would go to the website and they would put in Florida and let's say Fort Myers. That would automatically pick up me and I would be their initial contact. So then we're able to create that relationship and I can help be their, their support, give them resources and, be that, that person. And a lot of us, the first time we hear somebody that sounds like us is mind blowing. So it's an incredible organization. It's amazing, actually.
Well, I'm amazed that that the organization actually has the one-on-one contact with an individual like you. In my practice, I deal with folks who have different medical conditions, and what's very frustrating for them is to have physicians who either don't understand their disease or kind of dismiss them. And I find that when my clients meet a physician who understands them, that they realize that it's not all in their head like everybody was trying to convince them. And more importantly, someone like you who is willing to be with them on that journey that I'm newly diagnosed and what on earth is my path going to be. So that's just really, really awesome.
Yeah, and we call them area contact leaders, and we have them pretty much across the United States and international. So we've got some in the UK, Ireland, Pakistan. It's just, it truly is an international organization, which has been amazing to be helping that create even that part of it.
We're active in the MS and PD communities and do a lot of events and walks. What was your first Walk for Talk event like, and why did it resonate so deeply with you as it resonates with us as we participate in these kinds of events?
Well, from what I understand, 2020 was kind of a brainstorming idea to come up Walk for Talk. And COVID for us was very, very difficult because not only did we have to wear a mask, but we also sound sick. So I had times where people would hear me at a register in a grocery store, turn around, walk away, thinking that we had COVID or we were infectious or whatever. So the first Walk for Talk was a solo event. But again, in order to help spread awareness and those relationships and those connections, I put a lot of videos on Facebook to create that awareness and that educational piece. And it was, just a long weekend, and my dog and I, and sometimes my wife would join us, and we would go on walks, and I would just talk on it.
Cool.
So some days I would have bad advice, other days I would have advice, but that just, creating that awareness piece and the outpouring of support was incredible. That first year I raised almost $3,500 by myself.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And since then, we've had a Walk for Talk every year, and I'm on the planning committee for it. And we try and create different ideas. And so far in the last 5 years, I've raised a little over $33,000 experts, which is incredible. And this is what funds the majority of our research. So if we don't put ourselves out there, there's no way they're going to find a cure or even more treatment options.
So when is the walk, and how do people participate in the walk?
Contact me.
So, is there a specific month that you do your walks, and
Yes. It's generally the month of October. We say you can have a walk anytime. It's October. We're just now starting to have a planning meeting. As a matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, we're going to start. It's like October 23rd, like that third weekend, I believe, in October.
Okay.
We have from Thursday to Sunday is kind of our focus. And you can do it individually. You can do it as a team. My community, we do a walk in our community. You can go hiking. You can go golfing. There's been boating. It's all sorts of fun things. And it'll be on our Dysphonia International website as well.
Neat. So as a board member and event organizer, what impact do you think Dysphonia International is making? And you already talked about the walks contributing to money for research and treatment. You've also talked about that one-on-one engagement with people who are newly diagnosed. But
Right.
tell me, what other impact do you think that group is making?
It's last month we had our international symposium in Phoenix, and nothing was more inspiring than being in a group with people that sounded like you. And so I think that those relationships that we create is so powerful and so enlightening and energizing. Now, we've been able to create the support groups across the country and international as well. And, I could be here in Florida and call in to a support group meeting in California. So they're virtual, they're in person, and they have a variety of different topics. So that has been, again, very important for all of us, because having a voice disorder can be very isolating and very lonely.
So tell me about the symposium. Is this comprised of doctors and disability advocates and other members of the dysphonia community? What goes on at the symposium, and why would someone want to attend that?
Oh, it was incredible this year. Like I said, I was out in Phoenix, and we have a professional medical advisory board, and we had our president of the medical area presenting on the research that's going on, as well as what's going on with NIH, and how the funding is creating more research and that sort of thing. We also highlight laryngologists that are in that particular area. We have speech language pathologists that will help us learn different tricks or tips in that educational piece.
Wow.
So it was an all-day event, and all the sessions and speech pathologists donated their time to just help us. It's a very unique relationship with a laryngologist. A physician, you pretty much go in, you take care of that issue or that problem, and then you leave and schedule of their visit.
Right.
With a laryngologist, it becomes a relationship, because maybe you have success with Botox injections and you have a wedding coming up. Well, you can work with your physician to be able to time your injection so you'll have a great voice day if it works for you. So it's a really unique experience having those relationships.
So your advocacy work is amazing, but tell us, how's it shaped your identity and your outlook on a daily basis?
Yeah, it's been a really rough go. It's not easy. Things that you take for granted. For example, picking up the phone, going through a drive-through restaurant,
Right.
and those little things you just really struggle with. So, being an advocate for other people helps me just as much as it helps them.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, you're amazing. But let's take a quick break and then come back, and I want you to talk more about living with spasmodic dysphonia and cervical dystonia.